best way that I can put it is that the soul has to keep trying everything until it finds something that works. And meaning that the soul keeps incarnating when the final line of assessments and revelations comes through, that you have to assume human form, and you have to keep coming back again and again and again, because in these lifetimes that you keep living, you're a one-dimensional being, or a two-dimensional being, or a sub-dimensional being. You just keep locking in on the same physical material trappings, and you can't break free from the limitations of the confinements of the physical. So the soul has to keep going again and again and again until it finally breaks that third-dimensional barrier. You can clearly see these people. These are the type of people that stay in their car with the mask on, and they listen to what all these three-letter agencies are telling them to do, and what not to do, and how to live the life, and what to think and what not to think. And they get so panicked over the news telling them to go get that pump in the arms, and because there's a deadly virus out there that's going to kill you. Listen, all you have to do, if you doubt what I say, go look at what a real pandemic looks like, right? Influenza, Spanish flu, the streets were littered with the dead and dying. The hospitals were exploding at the seams with dead people. It was exponentially into the millions. If you extrapolate that into today's society, looking at billions of people that would have been dead. Those are real pandemics back then. So it was all nonsense. Did people die? Absolutely. Did they set something out there that was killing people? Absolutely. But it wasn't what they told you it was. It was all man-made, because that stuff was patented. And if you know anything about the patent process, you cannot patent anything from nature. You can only patent man-made things. You don't believe me? Do your own research. I encourage you to please do your research. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that the soul has to keep coming back again and again until it finds a right life, that it will break that third dimensional barrier. And you can clearly see that the people that go to bars and watch sports on these big gigantic TVs, that's a one-dimensional being. That they complain about the government, they watch the news, they believe everything they're told. Those are one-dimensional beings. The soul incarnates in the hopes that they can get that brain to awaken into becoming born into the fourth dimension as a new soul. And if they fail to do it, they have to keep coming back again and again and again. So basically, that's it. The soul has to keep assuming the physical until it finds the right lifetime that will allow it to break free and get that mind to be born as a soul again. Because then you're off the wheel of incarnation and karma, or whatever else kind of name you want to use. But that's essentially what's happening. Give you an example. When you're a child, you are on the other side of the door. Meaning that you just believe everything. Your parents, your adults telling you this is the only life there is. So you don't know about the galaxy and the universe and spirits and anything. What do you know? You know cartoons and games and toys and candy. That's it. And nowadays it's video games and online and internet and YouTube and TikTok. Back in my day, it was go out and ride bikes and go to the lake and hang out, have a bag of candy, and that was it. That's all we needed. That was a long time ago. But now it's all about electronics, where these kids don't even go outside anymore. They're just zombifying their brains. They're ossifying their minds, and they don't even realize it. TikTok is rotting your brain from the inside out. It's a cancer of your soul. Social media is a cancer. But nonetheless, when you're a child and you're told that this is the only life there is, then you're going to believe everything, right? But once you start to break free from that one-dimensional mentality into the second, into the third, then you realize, wait a minute, these things are not adding up and I'm being lied to. So you cross over that threshold and you can never return once you've gone beyond the door, So in some instances, you lose that sense of innocence because you realize your entire life was nothing but one gigantic series of lies. That Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, all that, Tooth Fairy, it's all the same thing. Everything they tell you on the news is a lie. It's all the same grouping. It's coming from the same place anyway. So, that's what happens when the soul is forced to continually keep having to reincarnate because it's not finding the right connection to a right person that's going to allow that soul to break the fourth dimensional barrier, because one-dimensional beings are not going to do it. You see these characters in their car on the parkway with the mask on, the windows up, driving 70 miles an hour, and they think the virus is going to attack them. It's just insane. All of these three-letter agencies belong to the same clique. It's just the way it is. There's no such thing as governments. There's only corporations, and they're all owned and operated by this clique. Whether you realize it or not, doesn't matter. But what I'm trying to say is that this is the dilemma suffered by the soul, that it has to continually keep reincarnating again and again until it finds that one lifetime that will allow it to break that third dimensional barrier, and then they don't have to come back. And that's basically it.